At the family restaurant on live TV, my mom pointed at my brother and said, "Marcus is such a gift for bringing people together. He's the one who turned this place around." I was standing 3 feet away, managing the system I built. The reporter never asked my name. The next morning, I changed all the passwords. The news van pulled up to Moore's Kitchen at exactly 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. Channel 7 was doing a feel-good piece about local family businesses that survived the pandemic. 3 generations of tradition, the reporter said into her microphone while my dad prepped vegetables in the background. I was at my usual spot behind the counter, updating inventory on the tablet system I designed 2 years earlier. The same system that cut our food waste by 60% and streamlined our entire operation. But the cameras weren't interested in tablets or inventory management. They wanted Marcus. He emerged from the dining room in his pressed button down, that easy smile already warming up for the spotlight. My brother has this way of filling a room just by walking into it. Customers love him. Staff adore him. The reporter's face lit up the moment he introduced himself. "So, Marcus, tell us about the transformation this place has undergone." I looked up from my screen. Transformation was a generous word for what happened when I spent 8 years quietly rebuilding every operational system in our family's struggling restaurant. "Well, Linda," Marcus said, settling into interview mode, "it's been about understanding what people really want. Creating an experience, not just a meal. When I took over day-to-day operations, I knew we needed to modernize everything." When he took over, I felt something cold settle in my stomach. The camera panned across the dining room I'd redesigned for better traffic flow, past the digital menu boards I'd programmed to highlight our highest margin items, over the social media displays showing posts from the Instagram account I managed, the one that had tripled our followers in 18 months. "Your online reviews have been incredible," the reporter continued. 5 stars across every platform. "How did you build such a loyal customer base?" Marcus leaned forward conspiratorially. "It's all about authentic connection. When people feel heard, when they know you care about their experience, they keep coming back. That's something you can't teach." What you could teach, apparently, was how to take credit for someone else's work. I'd spent months responding to every review personally, implementing feedback, creating the customer loyalty program that now generated 40% of our repeat business. But Marcus was right about one thing. It was hard to teach authenticity when you'd never seen it demonstrated. The interview wrapped with Marcus walking the reporter through our family legacy, gesturing at the photos on the walls, talking about tradition and innovation in perfect sound bites. My mom beamed from behind the host station. My dad waved from the kitchen window. I stayed behind my tablet, invisible. The segment aired that evening. 6 minutes of Marcus Moore, restaurant visionary, explaining how he'd transformed a struggling family business into a neighborhood success story. 0 mentions of the sister who'd actually done the transforming. I watched it alone in my apartment, taking notes. Not emotional notes, strategic ones. Because that's when I realized something that should have been obvious years earlier. I wasn't a family member who happened to help with the restaurant. I was an unpaid consultant who happened to share DNA with the owners. The next morning, I made a list. 8 years of improvements I'd implemented. The point-of-sale system that eliminated human error in orders and inventory tracking. The supplier contracts I'd renegotiated, saving us $32,000 annually. The staff scheduling software that reduced labor costs by 15% while improving coverage. The website I'd built, the social media strategy I'd developed, the customer database I'd created from scratch. I'd turned their failing restaurant into a profitable business. Marcus had turned my work into his personal success story. By 10 a.m., my phone was buzzing with congratulatory texts about the news segment. "So proud of Marcus. What a great interview. Your family must be thrilled." Not one person mentioned me. That afternoon, Marcus called. "Did you see us on TV? We're already getting calls about catering gigs. Mom thinks this could be our big break." Our big break. I repeated. Yeah, you know what I mean. The family business. This could really put us on the map.
Right.
The family business that you single-handedly turned around. He laughed. Come on, Vic.
You know I didn't mean it like that.
I was nervous. You know how I get on camera. How did you mean it?
A pause.
Look, can we talk about this later? I've got 3 potential clients on hold. Those clients were calling the number that forwarded to my personal phone, the one I'd set up because Marcus never remembered to check the restaurant voicemail. But sure, we could talk later. That evening, the family gathered at the restaurant to celebrate. My parents had made Marcus's favorite dessert, bread pudding with bourbon sauce. They'd printed out screenshots from the restaurant's Facebook page, where the news segment had been shared 47 times. I always knew you had it in you, my mom said, squeezing Marcus's shoulder. You have such a gift for bringing people together. You're the one who really turned this place around. There it was again. That phrase. The one who turned this place around. I sat at the corner table, scrolling through my phone, reading comments on the restaurant's social media pages. Marcus seems like such a genuine guy. Loves seeing family businesses thrive. That owner clearly knows what he's doing. Vicky, put the phone away, my dad said. We're celebrating. What are we celebrating exactly? My mom looked confused. The interview, honey. The publicity. This could change everything for us. For us, I said slowly. Or for Marcus? What's that supposed to mean? Marcus asked. I set down my phone. In that 6-minute interview, you took credit for 8 years of work you didn't do. The table went quiet. My mom's. I never said I did everything myself. You said you took over day-to-day operations. You said you modernized everything. You talked about building customer loyalty and understanding what people want. What part of that was a team effort? The whole thing is a team effort, my dad interjected. We all contribute. Do we? Because the news story seemed pretty clear about who the visionary was. My mom reached across the table. Honey, you're taking this too personally. Marcus was representing the family. When he succeeds, we all succeed. When I succeed, does Marcus get the credit for that too? Another silence. Longer this time. Marcus sighed. Look, if you wanted to be in the interview, you should have said something. If I wanted to be in the interview, like this was about camera time and not about having my life's work attributed to someone else. You're right, I said. I should have said something. I left early that night. Drove home in silence, thinking about the look on my family's faces. Not guilty. Not apologetic. Just confused, like they couldn't understand why I was upset about something so obvious. Back in my apartment, I opened my laptop and started working. Not on restaurant business, on extracting myself from it. I began with the passwords. Every system I'd built, every account I managed, every platform I'd set up. I changed them all. The POS system, the website backend, the social media accounts, the supplier portals, the scheduling software, the customer database. Everything that required my personal login credentials, my credit cards, my business relationships. Then I made phone calls. To our payment processor, removing my credit card as backup. To our website host, transferring the account to my personal name and requiring my authorization for changes. To the suppliers I'd cultivated relationships with over years, informing them I was no longer authorized to make purchases. It took me 6 hours to untangle 8 years of integration. When I finished, Moore's Kitchen still belonged to my family. But all the systems that made it run, those belonged to me. I didn't sleep much that night. Not from guilt, but from anticipation. The next morning, my phone started ringing at 6:47 a.m. Vicky, thank God. Marcus's voice was strained. Something's wrong with the computers. The registers won't start up. I was making coffee in my kitchen, watching the sunrise through my window. That's strange. The credit card machine is showing some kind of error message, and I can't log into the scheduling system. Can you come in early and fix it? I don't think I can help you.
What do you mean you can't help me?
You set all this stuff up. I did. But according to yesterday's news interview, you're the one who modernized everything. Surely you can figure it out. A long pause. Vicky, this isn't funny. We open in 2 hours and nothing works. Then maybe you should call your IT department. You are our IT department. No, I said calmly. I was your unpaid technology consultant. But the interview made it clear that you're the operational expert. So, this seems like an operational problem. I hung up and finished making my coffee. The calls continued throughout the morning. Marcus, increasingly frantic. My mom, confused and pleading. My dad, gruff and demanding. Each conversation following the same pattern: panic, denial, bargaining, and finally the grudging admission that maybe they needed me after all. By noon, they'd been forced to close the restaurant. The POS system was locked. The website was down. Suppliers were calling about bounced purchase orders. The social media accounts, which generated 60% of their daily foot traffic, were displaying account suspended messages. You're being childish, my mom said during her fourth call. This affects all of us. You're right, I said. My decisions do affect all of us. Kind of like how my work for the past 8 years affected all of us. Funny how that works. We never meant to hurt your feelings. This isn't about feelings, Mom. It's about facts. Marcus told 15,000 viewers that he transformed the restaurant. I'm just making that true. That evening, they showed up at my apartment. All 3 of them, standing in my hallway like a delegation. Can we come in? My mom asked. We can talk here. Marcus looked exhausted. Vicky, we lost $1,200 in sales today. We had to turn away a catering order because we couldn't process the contract. That sounds like a Marcus problem. You're the one who understands what people want. Stop being sarcastic, my dad said. This is serious. It is serious. You spent years taking credit for work you couldn't do yourselves, and now you're discovering what that actually means. We never took credit for your work, my mom protested. I pulled out my phone and played the news segment. Let them listen to Marcus explaining his transformation strategy, his customer loyalty approach, his modernization efforts. That's every system I built, I said when it finished. Every process I designed. Every relationship I developed. But somehow it's Marcus's story. They stood there in uncomfortable silence. What do you want from us? Marcus finally asked. Recognition, I said. Partnership. Credit for the work I actually did. Fine, he said quickly. We can do another interview. Say it was a team effort. It's too late for that. Then what? I looked at my family, these people who'd raised me, loved me, and systematically erased me from my own accomplishments. I want you to learn how to run your restaurant without me. We can't, my mom said quietly. Then you'll figure it out. Or you won't. But I'm not your silent partner anymore. My dad stepped forward. Vicky, be reasonable. We're family. Family doesn't throw each other under buses on live television. It wasn't like that, Marcus said. It was exactly like that. You had 6 minutes to talk about our family business, and you managed to mention everyone except the person who actually built it. I was nervous. You didn't think about me at all. And that's the problem. I looked at each of them one more time. When you're ready to treat me like a partner instead of free labor, call me. Until then, good luck with your authentic customer connections. And I closed the door. They tried for 3 weeks to run the restaurant without me. I heard updates through mutual friends. The POS system crashed that lost a day's worth of orders. The website being down for a week because no one knew how to fix the hosting issue. The social media accounts staying dark because no one had the passwords. Marcus hired 2 different tech consultants. Both quit after realizing how integrated my systems were with daily operations. On a Thursday evening, my mom called one last time. We're closing, she said simply. I sat down on my couch. Temporarily? Permanently. We can't afford to rebuild everything you created. For the first time in weeks, I felt genuinely sad. I'm sorry, she continued. We didn't understand how much you did. We didn't understand that without you, there wasn't really a business at all.
There could have been, I said.
If you'd wanted me as a partner instead of an employee. I know that now. We talked for another few minutes. About regret, about family, about the restaurant that had been our shared dream for 8 years and our shared nightmare for 3 weeks. After we hung up, I opened my laptop and started researching commercial real estate listings. 6 months later, I opened Vicky's table in the space that used to house a failed pizza joint across town. Same neighborhood, better location. I implemented every system I developed for Moore's Kitchen, plus several improvements I'd never had the authority to make. The local food blogger found me first. Then, the Business Journal. Finally, Channel 7, the same station that had done the Moore's Kitchen story. This time, when the reporter asked about my success, I told the truth. About building systems from scratch, about understanding customer data, about the difference between authentic connection and authentic credit. The interview aired on a Tuesday evening. 8 minutes of Vicky Moore, restaurant owner, explaining how technology and hospitality could transform a dining experience. My phone buzzed with congratulatory texts. So inspiring. What a great story. You should be proud. This time they were right. 2 years later, Vicky's table won Best New Restaurant from the City magazine. Marcus sent me a text congratulating me on the award. Just a simple message. You deserve this. I'm sorry it took so long for everyone to see it. I texted back. Thank you. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. But some victories are worth more than family approval. I learned the difference between being valued and being visible. And I'll never be anyone's silent partner again.